Hi, I'm Viola. I just had a birthday. I'm turning 27, and one thing that kind of freaked me out about turning 27 is that I'm almost 30, and everybody my age is afraid to get old. I don't think that I will get old myself. I'm pretty sure that age is the number. You get to live life and you live for a long time, and everything's supposed to just keep getting better and better. This is my first video. I'm very proud of this. I was taking quite some time getting myself together, getting my nerves right so that I can put any sort of content out at all, because I wasn't going to do anything. I was going to do nothing and wait for the right time, or wait for some courage to show up in my life. Maybe it showed up, but I promise that courage is in and out the door all the time with me. So here I am, damn sure proud of it. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was how I was getting started to sign my son up for school. He's going to 6th grade, and the school that he's at ends at 5th. So I was going around town looking for schools to send him to. He's going to 6th grade. And in the process of doing that, I was explaining to him that, you know, you're going to go to this next school, you're going to be there for 3 years maybe, up to 8th grade, and then you're going to go on to high school. And after I had spoke those words, I immediately felt the fear of having to raise a high schooler. Immediately. Because I've never done it before. And I guess as for a first-time parent, you would have never done any of this before. None of this. Everything here is new. Everything is the first time. And in thinking about that, I thought about how I myself will be... Well, I already have. I've turned 27. My birthday was May 14th, a Taurus. And I was in disbelief of how old I really was and how many missed opportunities were happening, because I had always been shy, nervous, anxious, unconfident, and I'm just generally not participating in life because of fears of what would happen next. So in that fear, I decided to reach out and talk to parents that I knew that had already gone through it, older people, you know, our guidance. Because I myself, I don't have, well, we won't start there, but I don't have as much guidance as I used to as being a kid. My parents are not here, they are deceased. When I was young, that's when they passed away. I was 13 when my mom passed, and then 16 when my dad passed. But I've been living with my aunt and uncle ever since then. And they're senior citizens, they're old folks. Yes, they helped raise me from that time till now. And recently, you know, my second parent figure had passed away last year as well, my aunt who was raising me. So since then, I've been kind of picking up the slack around the house. I'm paying bills, cleaning, and great. It's like the precursor to becoming an adult. People just fall out of your life, and then you realize, oh, I have to do something. But, you know, not sad about that. Very grateful for the opportunity to have, you know, grew up the way that I did. Seeing as though I was always, that's the other thing about filming outside. I came here because of the lighting, and now I'm regretting the sound. So we do what we can with what we have. So back to the story. I was speaking to one of my partner's moms because, you know, she raised an adult. He made it. Maybe, you know, she can give me some tips on how to help my son make it into adulthood too. And we sat down and we talked, and I was so grateful for that time to talk to somebody, because even though everyone says the same things over and over, you know, they tell you that it's gonna be fine, and you just go through it, and you take it one step at a time. I just wonder if they ever remember how they felt. Do they really remember? I know they can't feel what I feel when I'm going through life, and that's fine. They can not feel those things. I wouldn't want them to. But I mean, I'm the type of person where things can stop me. If I sense a hint of doubt in something, I will postpone operation for years until I'm definitely 100% sure this is the plan that's gonna work. I don't like wasting time. I do enjoy journeys. That's what they say, you know, you go through life, you take a journey, it's not about the destination, and that's all great. And you know, I've definitely learned things taking journeys, and you know, I very much am a planner. I just want to have a plan that I can do and know that at the end it's going to be set. And with raising kids, it's just not the case. You just get a kid and supposedly you feed them long enough and they grow into something great. That's what I'm hoping. I feed him. I feed my son. But he's a really great kid, and I know he deserves all the opportunities in the world, and that's all I want to give him. So when I missed the deadline for applying for schools that he wanted to go to, I'm now marching around town looking for good schools, while simultaneously freaking out about sending him to a high school, because I will definitely be in this predicament once again. Having to choose a school and visiting and hoping that this is the right choice and that he has a good time there, because it's really important for the kids to enjoy the school that they go to. I want him to feel proud of where he is, because if kids get discouraged really easily, and I don't want school to be one of the places that it happens at. So, in case you missed it, in a nutshell, what I'm really here to talk about is growing up. That I'm 27 years old and I don't feel like an adult. I do adult things. I do adult things all the time. I have liquor. I go to work. I pay bills. I raise my son. I make my own decisions. And one thing that I'm missing is, you guessed it, guidance. No one's guiding me. I'm just here trusting and believing in myself that I'm doing the right thing all the time. And I generally don't reach out for suggestions or help, because, you know, I want to make my own decision. I want to know what all the options are and hear people out about what they would do and why they would do it. Just, you know, just as a reference. Sometimes I don't take everyone's advice. Sometimes advice is just plain old unhelpful, because it's just words. It's just what you could do. All advice is what you could do and what could happen, which is not set in stone because it hasn't happened yet. So I generally don't ask for advice, but when I do take it into consideration, because, you know, it just makes me feel better. Makes me feel like somebody's been through this. I'm not the only one. The feelings that I'm having are unique to me, but it's the situation that I'm in is not unique to the world. So I sat down with my partner's mother, and she was really kind to me. I was very nervous. I generally are not talking to people about anything important. I'll chit-chat, bullshit. But it was really different to speak to another adult who, you know, in my eyes felt like someone I could listen to and get advice from, and, you know, almost feel like a kid again. Feel like someone's watching over me. Someone's helping me to get to another place that I want to be, and, you know, wanting the best for me. I feel like I've been missing that for quite some time now. Being 27, I believe it was my 13th birthday. It was a little after my 13th birthday when my mom passed. So when I turned 26, I had realized that I'm literally living more life without my mom than I have lived with her. And no one's talking to me. No one's in my ear all day telling me about how important school is, and eat your vegetables, and go ahead and work out, get some exercise, make some friends. No one is telling me anything. I'm just existing. And it honestly feels like I'm alone. It feels very much like I'm alone. It feels like if anything crazy happens to me, no one's gonna bat an eye. Of course my son will, but other than that, no one's gonna bat an eye. Life will continue for them. Maybe they'll remember my name, maybe they won't. And it's a little discouraging to think in that manner. So there has been a few nights where I've cried about it, and, you know, alone to myself, because no one should know what my emotions are ever. Nobody needs to know. If you can't make them right, you don't need to know. But yeah, I'm here putting it out now, just in case anyone else feels the same. I definitely know that growing up, it's probably one of the hardest things we have always ever done, and we are all going to do it. We are going to do it whether we know how, whether we think we're doing the right thing or not. And you do have to be confident in yourself and your abilities to survive. Without that confidence, you know, you might end up like me a few years back, not doing anything, or doing the same thing over and over because it's comfortable, even though it's not getting you anywhere. And it's very important to move forward. It's very important whenever you can, whenever you finally find your motivation, whenever you finally find that quote that makes you stand up and say, oh my God, I'm going to do something. I can actually do something. They are correct. I am capable. You have to push. You have to take that little bit of fire and fucking run with it. I mean, take it to the fucking, like the Olympic torch. Take it all the way and burn the house down with it. Because as soon as you lose it, you don't know when you're going to get it back again. It's already hard enough to make fire yourself. I mean, cavemen took a while, but, you know, we got around to it. So as far as what I've learned from raising my son, and speaking with my partner's mom, is that they're human, they're people. Sorry, there's people driving by. I don't want that caught here. I'm not that loud already. So what I've learned is that they're people. You really don't have to do, oh man, I don't want to minimize the job of it, the job that it is to be a parent. I'm not minimizing that at all. But I'm constantly worried about, have I taught him something? Have I told him how to deal with a situation that could happen? And a lot of that, I know for a fact, is coming from just general anxiety, that you want to prepare your kids for every possible situation because anything can happen. And the truth is, you just cannot prepare them for everything. There is no way. You can train them from when they learn how to read. You'll be training for the rest of your life. It'll be total life education for the rest of your life if you're going to try, if you're even going to attempt to prepare them for every situation. One of the big things that I see that is important is paying attention to them. You have to know where they are and what the kids around them are doing. And that doesn't mean kind of hover over them at all times. But kids talk. They just talk all day. They will tell you their life story every day. And you might not believe it. You might think it's bullshit. It's not real. What you're going through is outrageous and that's never going to happen again. But they will literally come home excited to tell you all the crazy things that go on in the schoolhouse that they're going to, on the way to school, coming back, what the parents are doing. They talk. They're not shy about that. Kids, they don't feel that. They don't feel any of that. So it's important to listen to what's going on so that you could be aware of situations that you could educate them on. So maybe bullying isn't a big deal now. Maybe it'll be a big thing later. Or maybe they're not getting along with their teachers. The teachers aren't listening to them. Teachers are hardly ever listening to them because there's about 30 little things to listen to. And yeah, you do got to filter that stuff out. That kids are just, they're never ending. Never ending information boxes. So if there's ever, you know, being a good parent isn't as much as knowing what to do or say, but knowing that if something comes up, you are going to be there to make a difference in the situation. They do need to be talked to all the time. You know, you don't have to talk their ears off, but you want them to be aware that there's something that's going to happen to you, and I want you to be able to see the situation. And they might not. And they might not. It's hard to be told that you're going to go through something those kids don't wait for the moment to appear where they're like, oh my God, my mom told me about this. They just live their life and they're confused and they're trying to figure it out just like you are. And, you know, sometimes we're a little late to save them from what happened, but we can always save them from it happening again. We can always educate them on how to get past certain situations that occur at the schoolhouse, at the after schools, on the sports teams, on the sidewalks that we walk down every day. So I always remind myself that whenever I'm feeling really anxious about how he's going to grow up or what's going to happen at the school, we definitely talk about different things. I love watching YouTube videos of other kids, which is great because kids will tell you. Watching other kids' YouTube channels, they will talk about anything and everything, and they will let you know that there is outrageous things going on at the school and they need help. They need help dealing with it. They need help navigating it. And maybe you don't know the answers, but you will definitely, you know, being a good parent is not knowing and going to find out. Definitely find out. And I started to live my life in that way as well, where if I don't know things, I reach out to others for help, because just not knowing doesn't help me at all. You know, I'm not going to know a lot of stuff, but yeah. You always want to go search for the answers. And Jesus, I've been hearing some answers I don't want to hear. Not going to lie, I've gone out and asked for help and have gotten literal just, if not complaints, then, what is the word? Just, I don't know how to describe it. I'll describe it later. But yeah, going back to growing up, like I said, my experience, just being young, going through, like, you know, the normal, what is normal bullying? Going through normal teasing, growing up as a kid, and learning from those experiences how to cope with them in negative ways, such as shutting down, not responding, over-responding, and just trying to find ways to survive the situations I'm in. And that's an interesting thing too. My kids are, they're going through stuff. They are going through things at the school. They're going through the same things you're going through on a much unregulated level. Because kids are wild. They don't know, you know, they don't know how to discern against anything. They don't discriminate against anything. They say what they want. They say what they feel. They don't care if it hurts you. Because they just gotta say it. That's their brain. We just gotta, is the kid's mind. We just gotta do it. We don't gotta read the manual on how to do it. We just gotta do it. And I always admire them for that. Probably gotta get that back into my mentality. I'm gonna take a look at these notes because there are a couple of points that I really wanted to get out. And I want to make sure that they're said today. Fly. Oh, that was a big one. Okay. Make sure we're still on. We're still on. So we're still on. The reason I was brought up that fancy word, the anxiety word, a word everyone hates. I hate it too. I'm honestly going to stop saying it because one thing about anxiety and just mental health in general, your brain is very powerful. Anything that you tell yourself, you will believe it. You believe you. That's how it is. I've learned that if I'm constantly telling myself, oh, my anxiety's too high for that, my anxiety won't let me do that, it won't do this and I won't do that, and my body just responds to my brain and says, oh yeah, you're right, yeah, we got you, well, you're not going to do it. And that has not helped me. That's not helpful. It hasn't helped me get anywhere. Maybe in some really actual dangerous situations, it has saved my butt. But in normal life, you know, why don't you help that old lady cross the street? My anxiety won't let me do that. It's like, come on, it's just an old lady. No, what if someone sees me? What if someone sees me being anxious about helping someone else? What if someone sees me and I don't know how? Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna try to continue. I know y'all hear that. I'm gonna try to continue. I'm gonna try. Give me 2 seconds. I think I got it. But that was always me. I have, here's a fun story. So when I was working at Starbucks, just started working there, 6 a.m., had to get there like 5:40 or something in the morning to serve coffee to people coming off of trains. We did that. We did that for money. That was not my favorite job at all. But I was working there, and by that time I had learned some really keen interviewing skills, because I get jobs like that. I also leave them like that too. But I interviewed for a job, and the manager really liked me. She liked my personality, believed in me, and she hired me, and I started working. When I started working there, I guess the big difference that showed was that, one, I'm not that great at talking to people. I don't want to do it. So I'm taking customers' orders. And one of the biggest things at Starbucks is that you get regular customers. They feel like they own the place, and they expect you to know whatever they want at all times. And me being new, I don't know any of this. I don't know you. I don't know how often you come here. I don't actually care about you. I'm just here to serve coffee. Tell me your order. I find you some coffee. That's what I do. And then I go home, and I still don't know you. But yeah, that's just my attitude at customer service places. Tell someone about it. It's called the job. You work it, and that's it. So we're in the job, and it's early, and I'm not that big of a people person. And my manager is like, "Hey, you know what? You're really different than when I saw you at your interview." And I was just like, "Yeah, it's because I interview well." And don't know if that was a wrong or right response, but that's what I said, because it is the truth. And she went on to say that I presented myself as someone who may have battered woman syndrome. And I have never heard of battered woman syndrome. Apparently, it's a combination of traits that women who have been in traumatic situations, domestic abuse situations, perhaps, that they exhibit, you know, as mechanisms they've been using to get through their abuse, and have stuck with them because, you know, after the abuse stops, the reactions that you have to certain situations don't stop. You continue to behave as if abuse will return, and that's what she said I was exhibiting, that I was timid and didn't appear to have much confidence on the job as I did at the interview, because, hey, you can hold confidence for 30 minutes. That's fine. I can do that. I've done that now. But at that time, I was not prepared to hold it, to carry myself in that way at all times. I was bare minimum. I gotta get this job. Oh, excuse me. I gotta get this job. I'm gonna do what I have to do to make it happen. And that's how I operated. That's how I always am. If I have to do it, I will do it. How long I can hold that? I don't know, man. Maybe just for the interview, maybe the first week, maybe after you've written me up for something that's just petty. Maybe I'll drop the act. But yeah, and she said that was me, and I didn't consider it. No one's ever told me that. I didn't think that, you know, I knew I wasn't the most confident or outgoing person, but after she mentioned it, I looked up some symptoms, and, you know, I I could agree. I could agree that I was living my life in that way. And, you know, having been through, you know, abusive situations with relationships or with family, yeah, you operate differently in the world. You take all your skills that you learned at home on how to survive and you bring them into the real world, because that's how you survive. Surviving's not a, I only do this here, you know? You do it everywhere. You bring it with you subconsciously. And I always remember thinking back to that, like, have I been abused? At that time, I wasn't sure. I didn't know that I was doing anything. I thought, no, this is just me. I'm just shy and I don't talk a lot. I've always been this way and it's fine. But I definitely was not happy with it. I always wanted to change it. I always wanted to be outgoing and liked and loved and held and cherished. And I was not operating in a way that I could receive that. Definitely wasn't operating in a way where I could give it properly. And so hence here I am, you know, constantly helping myself get through things. Constantly helping myself get through things, as that's the way that I have been operating since, you know, my mom passing. I've always taken it into my own hands. The few times that I have depended on people, sometimes it didn't go my way. And when it doesn't go your way, that's just a life lesson that I take in my soul, as people can't help you. They can't help. They won't help. Even if they could help, they won't. If they can't help, they'll try, and it won't be enough. And I'm, you know, still working on how to navigate that piece of information. Being disappointed by other people, because, you know, being disappointed doesn't mean that the situation is ended and over. It doesn't mean break up with your boyfriend. It doesn't mean quit being a parent. It doesn't mean give up paying rent because you can't do it. No one's going to help you pay that rent if you ever fall into trouble. So with that said, one thing that I want to say, you know, just to kind of wrap things up and end it, because some of my thoughts weren't together today. But I did want to put out something to get started, because I'm going to get started and I ain't going to quit. Just want to be able to get better and put my face on the internet like everybody else. Because that's what people my age are doing now. My faces are everywhere. And yeah, I'll wrap it up with saying this. It is difficult. It has always been difficult. And I have learned to do better. And I smile about it. Because what else I'm going to do? Give up, quit, stop, freeze. Don't do any of that. None of you ever do any of that. You do the little bit you can, and then one day you will do more. When you're ready, and sometimes when you're not ready, you will do better. And I'm definitely proud of you, and I'm proud of everything we get done around here. Because if ain't nobody else gonna stand there and say you're proud, I'm proud of you.